Hello, everyone. Hi, Navi. Hi, Antonin. Hi, everyone. Hi, Heinz. Good to see everybody. And thanks for joining the next edition of Coffee Chat. This is being recorded, so if you miss anything or if you have to leave early, it will be on the Solar United website, which is solar-united.org. We're very excited today because we have a very special guest all the way from Tokyo, Japan, Mr. Keiichi Komoto. We're very honored to have you here this morning, and I'm going to let Heinz and Nabi kind of kick things off as we normally do, and we'll learn more about what you're doing these days and get a better general understanding of what other applications, because we've been focusing quite a bit on solar mobility and what we can integrate into moving vehicles with solar as another energy source. So I'd like to hear a lot more about that as well. So I'll stop talking for right now, and then I'll turn it over to Heinz and Nabi.
Thank you, Brian. Okay, it's always me which kicks off a little bit a debate on it. I'm Heinz Ostenbrink. I know very well from past events. I have been responsible for renewable energy unit at the European Commission. Now I'm free consultant. Now, Keiichi, I am preparing this. I certainly was reading the report of IEA Task 17, and you are still the operating agent of it. Now, this report was majorly dealing with carports, with parking spaces, with buildings for public buses, and similar things where we think this part is progressing, maybe even not as fast as we would love it. Now, I would be particularly interested if you tell us a little bit about the major outcomings of this part, and how do you see it connecting to what we are dealing of integrating it directly in the vehicles, and as Brian said, that can be also other vehicles like trucks or trains or boats, planes, whatsoever. So how do you see this link, and how is it growing into the future?
Thank you, Heinz. Hello, everyone. I'm Keiichi Komoto from Japan. So as introduced, I'm now managing the IEA PV Task 17, names PV and transport. Yes. So our target is how to use PV in the transport sector. So we have two main targets, main fields. So one is the VIPV, so vehicle integrated PV. For example, the PV powered vehicle, passenger car, trucks, and so on. And the other approach is the utilization of PV for infrastructure, such as the charging station, and also including the vehicle to grid, vehicle to home, and several similar relevant services. Yes. So last year we developed two reports. So first one is focusing on the PV powered vehicle, and second one is PV charging station. So both are available as the IEA PV website. So please access the sites. Yes. So as for the big PV integration into the vehicle, so when we started this project, our main target was passenger vehicles. So maybe you know, so now we can see some passenger cars equipped with solar panels around the 200 watts and so on. So in Japan, in Korea, and in other countries. In Japan, the Toyota Prius, plug-in hybrid Prius have a PV around 180 watts. And in Korea, Hyundai's hybrid electric vehicle, and also the electric vehicle Ioniq have also PV. Yeah. Also in Japan, in order to promote this kind of application and also to expand the market in transport for PV, NIDO has been implementing the demonstration projects. So they developed two passenger vehicles which having 1 kilowatt PV. Such PV developed by Sharp around more than 30% efficiency using 3-5 compounds. Yeah. So recently, these demonstration vehicles are developed by Toyota Motor Corporation and Nissan Motor Corporation. So two big companies in Japan. I think in these global companies. Yes. So now these vehicles are driving on the public roads and measuring the solar irradiation, electricity generation, and electricity consumption, and so on. Yes. So as far as I know, the PV vehicle available on the public road would be still these two cars, I think. I know some the big PV vehicle are developed in Germany and Netherlands. But I'm not sure if these vehicles are available on the public road. Yeah. So anyhow, in Japan, so based on such demonstrations, we will promote to introduce such vehicle in the market. Okay. And so from viewpoint task 17, so recently we started a discussion for heavy duty vehicles, such as trucks and buses, also available for PV. So comparing with passenger vehicle, heavy duty vehicle have a wide area on the roof, and the figure is flat, quite easy to install PV on roof. Yeah. Also, for the heavy duty vehicles, how to use the electricity might be points. For refrigerator, freezing trucks and so on, electricity can be provided for the trailers. But if we want to use electricity for driving, and some electrical system would be developed, and sometimes the managing and control of electricity and driving might be difficult. But such a potential may be big, and some European companies are already trying, and also I heard maybe so the Fraunhofer ISE has implemented the demonstration development. Yeah. So we are waiting for what kind of the outcomes are provided from such projects. Okay. So task 17 would like to refer such results and make a dissemination and announcement to all over the world to promote PV vehicle in the world.
That's very interesting that you mentioned trucks. Would be this the first entry point for successful marketing? Or because, for example, there are also trucks which need cooling, and could partially the cooling power could be provided by that. When you start to get in a professional application versus an application which is like in nice cars like the Tesla or the Sunray, where one would say, okay, this is an highly visible and high profile application which attracts the thinking of with solar energy and photovoltaics, you can do a lot, and you can do unthinkable things. Where do you see it? One, the more realistic market track, or more that where we say, okay, we make a kind of advertising PV possibilities?
I think the PV on trucks will closer to the market, I think, comparing with other vehicles. Yes. But on the other hand, so in case of trucks, PV would be installed on the roof of the trailer, the car, and no one can see the PV on the trucks. Yeah. On the other hand, for passenger cars, of course, there are some difficulties to realize, but it's quite visible. And if we could develop a good design and the benefits of PV could be confirmed, so many consumers may come to the PV passenger cars. And so, as I mentioned, in Japan, the one target is 1 kilowatt PV on one passenger cars. But at the beginning stage, the small scale, so 200 to 300 watts for extending the driving range would be quite effective and useful. I think such the iterations are quite a big market and quite easy.
Before I head over to Navi, just a very short question I asked for a short answer. This is very convincing. So if I would have the opportunity, I immediately would buy it. But what is with the large public? Did you make any studies of the acceptable surcharge for a vehicle integrated PV car, saying, let's say, extending the range by 10 or 20%? Is there any, are you aware of any study, marketing study, which is the willingness to pay, let's call it, extra for it, how much this could be?
That's a good question.
Okay.
So, yeah, so there are two stories. So from the technical viewpoint, so as same as other applications, so we have to calculate the electricity cost. Yeah. So how much it would be saved by PV. And so the comparing with the cost for grid electricity and the cost of PV electricity on roof. And that's quite the competition. On the other hand, sometimes we are talking with the friends working for or had been working for the automotive companies. So they said that when we buy a car, of course, the dealer, the company will recommend us to put additional options, so high grades and so on. Yeah. In such case, the price of the option would be around maybe €1,000 and so on.
Oh, I see. Because I just thought if you package this with another package, so it's the so-called green package instead of a winter package or luxury package, call it green package, and there might be some other things inside. I think people wouldn't never make the calculation, how much do I save on electricity?
Yeah, that's right. So if so as you said, the green package, so PV package, could be provided at €1,000. I think many customers will come to. So, and also them, they would not mind how many watts on the roof.
Yeah, exactly. No, it could be even more than 1,000. Let's say a typical car today, nice car costs 40, 50, 60,000 euro. Huh? So it could be also 10% or 5% of that. Huh? Okay, we agree there. Navi.
Okay, so jumping just to the point that you just mentioned regarding that's the options that the people can add to their car and being green and all these things. I know that Japan, we all know that Japan was the first country to introduce the feed-in tariff for the solar installations. Because I think that's in the early 90s. And the solar is well, I would say, accepted and it's well developed in the houses. I do remember time when I was visiting Japan, each time I arrive and they see more in the way from the airport to downtown, more blue roofs and more panels have been installed. So what about the sensitivity of the people regarding the transportation? For instance, to be more green, of course, as you mentioned, for instance, adding options for solar panels and all these things. But there is any, I would say, awareness or maybe interest for common people population to say, okay, we have the panels and we are used to use the sun to produce the electricity in our house, to use the same concept and to use it for the transportation, especially when we know that the price of oil is quite expensive in Japan.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. What can I say? I think that's in 1990s, you said the rich people had started to install PV. Yes. So as well, we expect some rich people may purchase a solar car. Yeah. But on the other hand, as I mentioned, we still have a small solar on the car. So police and so on. Such could be the major market. Yeah. And on the other hand, so we should try to expand the area for application, and not only the cars and trucks, and also the another vehicles such as aviation, trains, and so on. Yeah, and also the from viewpoints, the wide transport area, the infrastructure could be also market. Yeah. So recently, so Japanese government decided to modify the law for managing airport. So the new law will allow to use PV on the so airport area or buildings. So I'm not sure what happens, but this is a good sign to promote PV on the transport area. Yeah.
I think, Antonia, now you can.
Thank you, Nabi. Yes, thank you, Keiichi, for the introduction about the Toyota high efficiency car. So I saw that now we have a new car with a 3.5 solar cell on the roof, with showing like nearly 1 kilowatt of power. Do you think that it's possible also to have it cost effective? Because with 3.5 solar cell, it's usually used for space application or concentration. So what do you think on this?
Honestly speaking, we need a long time. Yes. Hopefully in 10 years. Yeah.
So in 10 years, you think the price of 3.5 solar cell should decrease maybe by a factor of 20 or something?
I'm sorry, I cannot say actual value, but as I mentioned, the additional price could be set the some €1,000. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that's a challenge, and that's the only way. Yes, but on the other hand, another PV such as crystalline silicon would be possible. And so recently, I think it's not only in Japan, but also all over the world. Some the new researchers treating perovskite tandems are targeting to the solar roof. Yeah, maybe that's interesting. Yeah, and in case of big goods, we do not really need a long lifetime. I think 10 to 50 years could be enough for vehicles. Maybe that's a chance for new PV technologies.
Yeah, do you think also semi-transparent, like for the windows at the backside or on the side, you can even have a bit of tint, like black windows, and this can be used also to produce energy. What do you think that could be an option also, to have this semi-transparent solar cell like a first market?
So I'm not sure in detail, but sometimes there is regulation for vehicles. So I heard, so when we take a seat in the vehicle, so we so we have to what can I say? So anyhow, so backside have to be glanced by driver's position. So if the rear side is completely black or covered by PV, not the available, maybe. But it depends on the regulation for vehicles and by countries.
Okay, thank you.
So if so we could see transparency solar films might be an option. But some the electrical system, so extracting the electricity or cabling and so on, is quite complex. I think.
Well, but it's sorry if I jump in, because I just was in a conf call before our coffee chat, and one gentleman from ISF in Germany, he's working indeed in transparent perovskite. And another gentleman was in the call. He was working from a glass manufacturing in Belgium, and the discussion was how to make the transparent, the perovskite transparent, and use this for the glass and the technology that could be applied and what type of the glass that could be used, because we should not only focus, because one of the key points is the efficiency, and then provide the charging for enough kilometers to be run by the car, and considering the surface available in the car, the windows must be, I would say, considered in such way. And I think that if we can develop that's transparent, I would say, solar cells, whether it is CGIS, no CGIS, they are quite dark, cannot make a real transparency. Amorphous silicon, yes, can make transparency, can make transparency, but the perovskite can make the transparency also. You can work on, there are some groups worldwide working on the transparent perovskite. So that could be also a good combination between different type of the cell that could be applied in the body of the car in order to allow the car to run as long distance as possible.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah.
Yes. We have a question in the audience. I'm going to try to bring Petro in to ask his question. Hopefully I did this correctly.
Hello. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Keiichi.
Thank you very much. Good day to all of you, and to you, Keiichi. How are you? You are.
Wow. Yeah, good to hear you.
Yeah, okay, very well. Then we recognize each other. I was reasoning about the possibility that we have right now. We have projects going on in Europe, at least. I'm sure there is also somewhere else, but for sure in Europe, in Sweden, in Germany, in Italy, with a different methodology to charge the batteries of the vehicle, also truck, but you know, on the road. There are something by, you know, different methodologies. I don't want to not specify. Now, I was think I would like to know from you if you have, in a way, study a comparison between putting the photovoltaic on the roof or on the, you know, on the shell of this vehicle where you like, and comparing the same photovoltaic installation put there to charge the vehicle while they are on the road. I don't know if it is clear, the question, but I think this, you know, depending on the utilization of the PV that we have installed, either on the car, on the vehicle, or on the as a system, as a PV system for charging directly the battery while you are on the road. This is my question, kind of study. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much. So now, so as I mentioned, these two approaches are focus of our task 17. First, we not compare for these approaches, which is better or something like that. I think, yes. So from a viewpoint of the XTC consumption generation and also substituting and grid electricity, then both approaches are same. So PV charging station or PV on roof. Yeah. On the other hand, so now we are discussing the additional benefit of PV on roof. So one is the free from charging. So the frequency of charging at the station could be reduced when the vehicle have their own generating resources on their roof. Okay. And another point is kind of resilience. So under the disaster condition, for example. Yes. I think recently, so when some the natural disaster happens or forest fire and so on, yes, so electricity could be lost. Then electric vehicle can go there to provide electricity, and that's a good thing. So if the such electric vehicles has PV on their roof, additional electricity can be generated and provided without the connecting the grid. That's the benefit of the PV on roof. Such benefits could be discussed. So on the other hand, the PV charging station is also the good technologies. And in such cases, the charging station can provide another business or services. So providing electricity for neighboring building, residentials, and so on. So both are possible and both coexist. So we are trying to evaluate the potential of the PV in the transport using PV on roof and PV charging station. Okay. So Pietro, I'm sorry. So I have not a good answer for your question, but that's my opinion.
Well, thanks for asking the question, Pietro. And it looks like we're coming to the end of our 30 minutes. And I know it's late in Japan already. We don't want to keep you too long, but just to see with the other guys here, do we have any other quick questions that we want to ask before we say goodbye?
Yes, maybe a question, general question. Usually now we see that we have fast charging station, but I'm not sure if it's so good for the lifetime of the car batteries. Do you think that having a VIPV, so integrated on the roof, make a slow charging, will extend the lifetime of the battery?
Might be, yes. In case of PV on roof, so we at least I do not have clear answer, but two approaches: the PV electricity, going to main battery directly, or the stores once as the sub batteries, then provide you the main batteries. This kind of the control, kind of the management, but also the influence to the lifetime of the battery system. Yeah.
Okay, well, very good, very good. I think we need to wrap it up, gentlemen. Again, thank you, Keiichi, for coming and joining us and taking time out of your evening. And yeah, we'd love to have you back again in the near future. There's so much more that we could probably discuss, but we always promise everybody 30 minutes. So thank you to you, and thank you again to our team here. We will be doing this again in another couple of weeks. So for those that have joined the session today, you'll receive an email soon when the video is available. But we'll also keep you updated as far as upcoming sessions that we have planned similar to this. So from my point, being based here in the US, I'm going to wish everybody a good day and look forward to seeing you guys all again very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And if I have to add only one word, I wish, as I learned that the car makers start proposing in Japan some options to include, for instance, the solar rooftop. I wish that become a reality for all the car makers to start proposing that as an option, and it will be a first start.
PV packages.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank
you
so
so
much.
To thank Keiichi and hope to see you very soon. Hopefully in Milan.
Yes.
Good.
I expect.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.